Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. This is it.
This is Top Flight Time Machine. I am Andy Hotbody Dawson. Pow, pow, pow.
I'm Sam Nifty Delaney. So what?
And who might you be?
And how are you today? Oh, that's good.
Oh, that's a shame. Choose either of those, which you find applicable. There is, of course, the third option, which is everything's just all right. No change then.
There. Ah, well.
Yeah. Never mind. It's the weekend soon. It is the Friday morning episode. We're bringing it to you on Friday morning because it's a Friday morning episode. I feel as though it could be one of those episodes where I'll just sit back and just listen because you've just spent a week in the United States, not just the United States, New York itself.
The city that never sleeps.
Well, they say that. Did you test it out?
I slept regularly, yeah. But I believe that while I was sleeping, there were other people who were awake. Yeah.
Yeah, they say that. Incredibly, in New York, at every single second, there's always someone who's awake.
Oh, no, it's the only city in the world. Yeah, well, only in America. I made a point of saying that 30 to 40 times a day to my son as we were walking around. Only in America.
As he put his arms around him and you said, "Son, drink it all in. This is the land of opportunity.
The Big Apple. The Windy City." Oh, no, that's Chicago. But nevertheless.
Orange County.
The OC itself. Big Sur. El Capitan. Call it what you will. It's the center of the universe.
The Bermuda Triangle.
They say people disappear here, son.
So it's a good thing,
never to be seen again. And just think, that could be us.
If you play your cards right. Tonight could be your night if you play your cards right, as they say at JFK
Nothing
when you
for
arrive.
A pair, not in this game.
Don't get two in a bed.
I got right up to the Empire State Building, Empire State Building, and I stood out there with my arms out, stretched to the city, and I shouted, "What a points make!" And the city, as one from below, shouted back at me, "Prizes!
Nice to see you! To see you, nice!
Nice!" Yeah, what a city. Only in New York. Only in New York.
So
New
then,
York.
do you have a list of highlights then, or?
I mean, I'm still pretty tired. I got in yesterday and I sort of was so tired all day. And but yeah, I had to do that thing of trying not to go to sleep all day because I didn't want to
realign your body clock.
Confuse my body. I didn't want to confuse my body. So I stayed up. It was tough. But then eventually I went to sleep at about 9 o'clock. I've had a good, practically 13 hours sleep. So that's nice. Good, but I do feel disorientated. But one thing they're talking about New York and what a unique place it is. Unique New York. It's got an awful rat problem, mate. Oh, my God. The rats are out of control.
Really?
Look it up. I didn't realise. I said to my sister after the couple of days, I said, in many ways, America's got this sort of reputation for small government and that. I said, but they do so much here in New York that you wouldn't get in London, for free. So, for instance, there's the Staten Island ferry, right? Staten Island ferry goes from Staten Island, as you'd expect, into Manhattan, non-stop, 24 hours, 7 days a week, and it's absolutely free. It's laid on by the city, right? And that's, obviously Staten Island is one of the 5 boroughs. It's a big commuter, town, borough, whatever you call it. So there's people going in and out of the city every day. Just free, mate, on a boat. And not only that, little tip for tourists is that if you want to go on a tour round, the Statue of Liberty, right?
Right.
Now, I paid, right, which I probably regretted. But you can get the official tour. It takes you out to their and to Ellis Island, right? And you do all of that, and you can get off the boat and have a walk around and whatnot. But if you get to Staten Island Ferry, right, it's just, you go right past it anyway. You go right, go as close as the paid for one.
Yeah.
And all you have to do, they can't charge you for looking from a boat, can they? You'd think they could, but they can't, right?
It's like firework displays this weekend. Here's a tip for you: don't go to an organised firework display. Just stand outside the location. You'll get a good view.
We do that, and just to make it feel even better, we do it. The local really posh private school have a spectacular one. I'm not fucking lining those cunts' pockets. They already get away with not paying fucking VAT. I pay VAT, and I basically am a fucking podcaster, right?
Yeah.
They're not paying fucking VAT, and they are making fucking so much money, they don't know what to do with it. They have to fucking, for their tax return, they have to spend it all on fucking fireworks once a year. Yeah, we got to do an extra big fucking firework display this year, right? Because if not, it's all going to go to the taxman. But we've looked it up and there's a firework loophole for private schools. So they spend all their fucking immense profits on fireworks. We stand outside that cunt. And that way as well, you don't have to stand within earshot of all the fucking braying cunt parents and bratty kids.
Yeah. You take your own bowl of chips as well. Just stand outside and eat your bowl of chips.
Yeah, I fill the kids' pockets with chips because that way it saves on washing up. Kids, put on your biggest coats. Right, open up wide. We're putting chips in one pocket and we're putting gravy in the other. So you know the system. You take a chip out of the right pocket, you pass it to your left hand, you dip it in your left pocket and consume.
And
every fireworks night.
While we're talking fireworks night, thanks to a couple of contributors who've let us know that Guy Fawkes gave his name when he was arrested as John Johnson, which of course is the same name that that fella with the canoe. Whose name
maybe we should do a quick deep dive for fireworks night, like next week on Guy Fawkes, because he was quite the character.
He was good, yeah. I mean, it'll be after Guy Fawkes night, but fuck that. Yeah, we might do that.
They say that he was a stooge as well. Like he wasn't the guy who sort of had all the. He wasn't the brains behind it.
I don't know. It's all.
He wasn't the Bin Laden of the outfit. He was more of a Lee Harvey Oswald character.
Who knows? It's all framed through the prism of the people who choose to tell the story. In the way they want to tell it. Like my daughter recently, she was talking. She's doing a history degree and she loves history. But there's an element, she's doing a side course thing which was about journalism, and she fucking hated it because she needed like actual concrete facts about journalism. And she says, I love history because history is essentially, it's gossip.
Facts. Oh, right,
history is just gossip. And it is.
Yeah, that's
it's like
true,
say, history's told by the winners. It's their version of events, isn't it? Yeah. So who fuck knows who Guy Fawkes really was? It's all just
true
bollocks. Anyway.
Yeah, they didn't have podcasts back then either. That was the big problem for them.
That was a massive problem. Yeah, now we've got a lot more.
Year zero of all history was when Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant laid down the first ever podcast.
Very first podcast
with Carl Pilkington. Yeah, and that's where what I call real history began.
History 2.0, I call it.
Yeah, that's when everything's fucking recorded factually.
And it led to us doing History Box, of course, which is now the most recognised history podcast that there is out there.
It's the most, in academic circles, it's recognised as the most credible historical source of evidence.
Yeah, Dan Snow doffs his cap to it regularly on his own podcast.
Yeah, all those history cunts fucking love it.
Sharma, the other one.
The rest is history. Because Lineker's Goalhanger Productions, which is a very esteemed and successful podcast production company, and it does The Rest is Football with Lineker and Mika Richardson and Alan Shearer, which I've never listened to throughout, but occasionally I see video clips of, and they're all like laughing their heads off. Fair enough, but the clips I've seen, I'm not even taking the piss, have been really interesting because they tell. Like inside, so it's like the other day I saw Shearer talking about Ruud Gullit dropping him. It was really funny.
For the Sunderland match.
Shearer, I always used, I mean, obviously I don't expect a balanced view of Shearer from a Mackham, but The thing about Chivas, I always thought he was so like uptight and full of it and boring. But rather like Roy Keane, in a way, he's come to own those aspects of his personality. So Lineker and Mika Richards take the piss out of him for being that way, for being slightly self-important and uptight, and he's kind of given into that. So yeah, that's good. They do that anyway. They do that. Then they do The Rest Is History. I can't remember who does that, but that's popular too. And then they do The Rest Is Politics with Alistair Campbell.
Yeah, I believe they've got The Rest Is Buggery coming up.
Well, I'm thinking if we ever wanted to sell out and stop being independent, we could pitch ourselves to them and say we could call it The Rest Is Cunts. But that doesn't... And they go, well, we like it, and we know you've got a little bit of a following, so we see potential. But the thing is, grammatically, The Rest Is Cunts doesn't make any sense. It would have to be The Rest Are Cunts, and that would break with our sort of system. And we go, oh, fine, call it The Rest Is Cunt, then. And then they go, well, no, then it's going to sound like it's like sexual or something. All right, just call it The Rest Is Bollocks. That's better. All right, but I can't stress this enough, Gary. We do want paying. We're going to need a lot. We're going to need paying to do this, right? A lot. And one other thing, not only do we need paying from you, we do insist on retaining all our current income sources from the pod going forward. And then it'll be like, well, what's in it for us then? What's in it for you? What's in it for you?
Kudos, mate.
The fucking kudos. The Rest Is Bollocks. Come on. Now, we're going to need a meeting with you, Gary, on a twice weekly basis going forward, personally, either at the Media Hub or in your rig. Is that agreeable to you? And we want it in writing as well. You're going to have to pay for Andy to fly down. Now, I'm assuming, Gary, that you have your own private helicopter/jet. It'll be agreeable to Andy if you just send that and land it on his back garden twice a week. But you better allow dogs in it, because Oscar's going to be coming on the helicopter too. No, well, if not, he's going to have to shell out for the dog hotel, isn't he? Fucking think it through, Lineker. We thought you were switched on about the podcasting game. Of course Oscar's coming too. Fine, Oscar doesn't have to get on the helicopter upholstery. Oscar could sit on the floor of the helicopter, that's fine.
He'll bring his little blanket, he'll lie on that.
He'll bring his blanket. But we would prefer it if you could lay on some in-flight treats for him as well to keep him calm. Because Oscar is a slave to his fucking nerves. I'm sure you found it similar with that Rory Stewart on the Politics podcast.
He seems needs a blanket and treats as well.
He seems the skittish type. He's like Alistair Campbell's pet dog.
He's got a security blanket like Linus off of Charlie Brown.
Yeah,
he has to hug it all the time while he sucks his thumb.
He went to one of them posh boarding schools, so he's got a few screw looses up top, you know.
He went to one of them fireworks schools.
He went to fireworks school. He's always crying for his mummy or his nanny or whatever it is, his wet nurse. So he has to have a blanket and biscuits on hand all the time.
Yeah, we could do that. Anyway, back to rats. Oh, did you go? You mentioned Ellis Island. Did you also go to Rikers Island?
No, I didn't go to Rikers Island, just Ellis Island. But to be honest, right, one of the reasons I regretted paying for the tour we got this boat and it goes to, first it goes to Liberty Island and then it goes to Ellis Island. But the queues were unbelievable. On our first day there, it must have been about like the 27th of October, and it was about fucking 20 degrees centigrade, mate. Unbelievable.
Wow.
I was boiling and we had to queue for so long, and then you go like 10 minutes across the river to fucking Liberty Island and they're going, right, get off here, have a look at the Statue of Liberty, and in 20 minutes, every 20 minutes you can get the boat further on to Ellis Island. I'm looking at the queues and I'm thinking, we're going to have to get off, go up and look at Statue of Liberty, which I can fucking see perfectly well from here anyway. Right? So what, like, the only difference is I'll get to touch the cunt.
If anything, you're too fucking close.
Too close, it's intimidating, because I don't know about you, but sometimes I am intimidated by being close to very large things.
Yeah.
Large structures can be intimidating, can't they?
Yeah, we've got the Angel of the North up here, and I went and had a look at it once. You stood next to it. It's too much.
Yeah, it's nice to look at it from a distance.
Yeah.
But if you get up close, you go dizzy, don't you?
You're like, what if it falls on you? You know?
I know, New York's full of that shit. So, like, I thought, I'm perfectly fine here, thanks. I'm not fucking getting off this boat to stand next to a big fucking statue that's going to make me feel queasy and then queue up again for another fucking half hour to get back on the same fucking boat.
Sounds like an ordeal, not a fucking holiday.
Yeah, so that was my first day as well. But I did get off at Ellis Island because there's a bit more going on there, and walked around like their immigration compound and learnt about the history of immigrants, and that was good. And then, but anyway, so I thought, and then there was other free things. There's a few free things there that are pretty good, and like my sister, she lives in Brooklyn, and every day we just got the ferry. If we were going into Manhattan for a pipe about there, me and my lad, we just got up in the morning, rolled out of bed, walked across the street, got on a ferry, $4, right, right into the middle of Manhattan every day. Walk around, and then at the end of the day, you go back to the fucking ferry and get it back again. So for a start, that feels really exciting because you feel like Melanie Griffiths in the film Working Girl, right?
Well, in some respects, yeah.
Yeah. and it's cheap. So I was like, it's really... And there was what was the other thing that I thought they did? There's just loads... we went down one day, and they're near Brooklyn Bridge Park, there's this huge like sports complex, right? And they have got tennis courts, outdoor squash courts. They got this new thing called pickleball, which is sort of like.
Wow,
have you heard of this?
Yeah, I'm aware of it. I've seen pickleball keeps coming into my arena.
Yeah.
I keep seeing it. It was the last thing Matthew Perry did before he sadly passed away last week.
He died of it, apparently.
He had a game of pickleball. He had a game of pickleball, and then he died. But then...
he was working on a new podcast called The Rest is Pickleball.
The Rest is Pickleball. Then it turns out there's a Sunderland Pickleball Society.
Is there?
I could go to the Beacon of Light next to the Sunderland Stadium of Light.
I didn't try it. I didn't try it.
It's like tennis for the elderly, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So it appealed to me, but I did. Me and Len, we went down there and like we couldn't try it really, partly because my brother-in-law's he's pretty alpha, and every morning he's up like running a fucking double marathon by the river or like going out on a bike. Like I was alarmed a couple of mornings when I got up and to be confronted by him in a full body stocking.
Jesus Christ.
And I was like, what's all this then? Fuck's sake. And he's like off on his fucking super bike.
It's some kind of cult.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you joined a fucking Blue Man group, have you?
And was he off to play pickleball, was he?
No, he was off on his fucking bike riding for about fucking 10 hours before 5 a.m.
Jalapeño.
Here's a brief but annoying message to let you know that you wouldn't be hearing this brief but annoying message if you were a subscriber to our Iron Filing Society Patreon offering.
For the price of a pint and a St. Clement's each month, you can get up to 4 episodes a week, 9 months before the rest of the world gets them. Early access to regular episodes, lots of other marvellous benefits, and there's absolutely no adverts or brief but annoying messages like this that will get right on your tits.
Find out more and subscribe now at tftimemachine.com/ironfilings.
Jalapeño. Jalapeño.
He's a great guy, but, you know, I think high performance culture is pretty standard if you live in New York, because it's a magnet for everyone who thinks in high performance terms. Right, that New York is like a magnet to them wherever they are in the world. So all the high performance people wind up in New York, and so rather than it be a niche that we can all laugh at, like here, it's very much the default setting for so many people there.
Jesus Christ!
So, but like because he's quite sporty and whatnot, he had no time for pickleball. Because he felt that pickleball was a sport that had been invented for people who can't do other sports very well.
Or babies or something like that.
For the weak. For the weak, for the lame.
Yeah. The feeble.
I'm like, well, I'm quite lame.
Pickleball? That's for the feeble and assholes.
This is New York. Those people need to fall in the huts and do the decent thing. Take themselves off the teat of the state. very much a Boris Johnson point of view, right? But anyway, no, he is a lovely guy, my brother-in-law. He's just very powerful.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
He's a powerful specimen, and anyway, he's yeah. But we went down there, right, and they've got the facilities were amazing, Andy. They got pickleball, tennis, they got football or soccer pitches, right? They got obviously basketball courts, table tennis tables. It's really, really nice, well maintained, all really modern equipment, no graffiti or mess. It's totally fucking free. And you go up to we walked down there through the park, me and Len, and you get there and there was no staff there as far as I see, but there was like a locker. And you go up and you scan the QR code on the locker, download an app, fill in your details, and then you just go, right, what do you want to play? And we put ping pong. And when you press it on your phone, ping pong, suddenly, I mean, it's like the future, right? You just press ping pong, you think, I wonder what's going to happen next. And the door to the locker, this huge locker, one of the doors just sprang open. It was a bit like Deal or No Deal, right? Because there's lots of different doors. And this door just suddenly went ping, and inside there was just like a bunch of table tennis balls and paddles.
Wow.
Yeah, and the app just said, there you go, cunt. Have a go for as long as you want.
Have a nice time. Yeah.
And then just make sure you put them back.
Yeah, don't forget to hydrate, obviously.
Yeah, and then we just played table tennis, like by the river, right, with literally Manhattan on the other side. Like you could see Statue of Liberty and Empire State and all of that while you're playing. Played for as long as we wanted. Also, being America, everyone is super fucking friendly, which I can tell you, I do not get tired of at all. It's
we've talked about this before, haven't we?
It's a breath of fucking fresh air. Like, it's amazing. Like, you know, kids who are playing basketball come up to us, they go, hey, man, who's winning? And your first instinct, if you're from the UK,
fuck off,
is to think, wait, I don't want any fucking trouble from you little cunts. Right, I'm fucking West Ham and I've got my Stodion under this. Yeah. Don't make me fucking get all naughty. Right, and then you just realize, no. They genuinely just want to chat and they come over and just fucking... And everywhere you go, like, you just meet people and your best friends. I remember I was talking to my sister about it and she's saying, I never got that how it annoys English people that everyone's friendly. And I say, I suppose some English people are like, oh, it's so insincere. And she said, she went, it might be, it might not be. She went, but even if it is, I don't really give a fuck. I'd rather have insincere warmth than sincere meanness. Yeah. I was like, I'm the same, you know. Because it just, every day's tough for everyone, right? You know that phrase you always see, you never know what someone else is going through. Well, it's true, although it's sort of like, obviously a trite sort of thing to say. But
ultimately, I don't care.
No, I don't know, and I don't care. But the thing is, it does make life so much smoother, whatever you're fucking going through day to day shit, if everyone's just got a smile and a nice word and a little bit of warmth. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was good. So anyway, I ended up saying to my sister, fuck me. I went, is this city, like, everyone goes, oh, you know, this is like, America is like the heart of kind of or like the home of the most heartless form of extreme capitalism. I said, but actually, a city like New York, there's so much community. Like, you wouldn't believe what Halloween night was like. The sense of community, it was like, everyone's just out there having their best fucking life. It's like very different. And like, you know, it felt like, you know, everyone, no matter what part of the fucking neighbourhood they were from, everyone's just out there having a right laugh and talking in a way that you just fucking don't even see on Christmas Day. So, you know, a lot of times in the UK. But anyway, I said, you know, it's like a really nice, like the state do quite a lot. She went, like what? I said, the Staten Island ferry, them fucking ping pong tables. I said, that's just two fucking things right there. And she went, yeah, but it's a fucking absolute shithole. We're overrun with rats. And I said, oh, yeah. She went, no, it's a serious problem with rats, right? There's like rats fucking everywhere. So then, like, we went out, me and her went out to a gig on Tuesday night. And afterwards she went, oh, the gig ended at 10. Fucking dreamland, mate. 8 till 10.
Yeah.
And then she said, let's go for a little let's go for a little stroll around. So I said, all right. And then she said, right, it's quite late. Do you mind? We'll walk through some of the parks. You don't mind big rats, do you?
Oh, strange thing to say.
I went, not. I mean, as long as they don't attack you. No, they won't attack. I mean, you might get the odd one run over your foot. So we walked through the park, and I said, well, actually, I would be interested to see a rat as big as a dog, because you hear about that sort of thing, but you don't see them.
It's good to have a target, isn't it?
She said, yeah, well, we might do. So we went through the park, and it was quite dark, but I was lucky enough to see some large-scale rats, right? Some as big as maybe a Chihuahua, right? But none as big as a not a Chihuahua, a Chihuahua, but none as big as a golden
I like the
retriever.
Chihuahua pronunciation. Let's stick with that.
So I said, yeah, there is a lot of rats. That's amazing. She went, yeah, because like the mob still run. It was comforting to know that the mob still run all of the refuse.
They run the rats.
Yeah, we're in charge of the rats in this city. We always have been. Ever since our ancestors came over from Sicily, we took charge of the rats. Like they're in charge of all the, the bin men, and
Right.
some of them. And anyway, something to do with that. But anyway, I'm like, well, you got a fucking problem. What are you going to do about it? They've got this mayor, right? And the mayor has announced to the city, which reminded me of the sort of thing that happens in Batman. The mayor's always coming out on the steps of City Hall and making an announcement, isn't
Mayor
it?
Quimby.
Yeah, Mayor Quimby's fucking come out. I pledged that there is one of my favourite ever Simpsons episodes is to do with rats as well. Remember when the mob, funnily enough, are milking rats and selling the rat milk to the schools? Yeah. Do you remember that? And it's got so many great bits in it. And one of the great bits is fucking Wiggum breaks into like Fat Tony's lair and they kick down the door. And there's just a rat farm in there, and they're all being milked by machines. And Chief Wiggum picks up one of the rats and holds it under his nose and sniffs it like a cigar and just goes, "It's pure." It's pure. And anyway, I go, well, he's got to fucking pull his finger out, this cunt. And they go, yeah. In fact, my brother-in-law said, yeah, well, his big pitch is he's got these rat capturing machines, right? This is true, right? He's got these rat capturing machines that he's announced with like massive pride. Like he thinks this is going to be my biggest vote. And go, I hereby announce $1 billion order of state-of-the-art rat-catching machines that I pledge to put on every street corner in the whole of this fair city. And the rats have had it their own way for too long now. And I say, no more. Right? And I said, well, what are these fucking rat traps? Right? And he's gone, well, they're like machines that lure the rat in, and then when the rat gets in there, I don't know if there's a bit of cheese in there or what, a door shuts on the cunt, right? And then a load of like sort of formaldehyde, you know, the old Damien Hirst gear that he used to put the sharks in and that.
Yeah.
Right? That is released and sort of drowns the rat in it. Right. But it's extra strong. So rather than preserve the rat like Damien Hirst did. I don't know if Damien Hirst got anything to do with this, but it wouldn't surprise me with that cunt, because he's always got his eye on the main chance, hasn't he?
Yes,
yeah.
I've got
an idea. He's got to say, get me the mayor of New York on the phone. I've got a fucking money spin. I've got a load of that fucking formaldehyde left from the 90s.
I've got a fucking lockup full of it.
I've got big yellow storage down in South London, right? And it's fucking costing me 500 quid a month. I've got to get shot of this stuff, but the council won't let me dump it, right? They charge you. It's like paint. They charge you for it. So he's like, so anyway, in the end, right, the rat is turned into a sort of a sludge, rat sludge.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
And then apparently a journalist has put his hand up and gone, Mr. Mayor, what? Mr. Mayor, I'm Jimmy Jones from the Daily Gotham. What are we to do with all of the rat sludge left in these machines all over the city? Who will collect it? And apparently, according to my brother-in-law, the mayor was caught short by this question and sort of went, we will work that out as we go along.
Yes! I love that.
We'll sort something out. This is, after all, America. Someone somewhere will come up with an idea for the rat sludge. So there's rat sludge everywhere. And, well, as my son said, because he's obviously banging into the old superheroes like all the kids are, he said, well, he goes, it's obvious what's going to happen. Some fucking dodgy contractor's going to win the contract from the city to dispose of the rat sludge. And they're just going to fucking dump it somewhere, and it's going to come into contact with radioactive materials. And then what? Great. A load of fucking superhuman... Super rats overrunning
it's
the greatest city on earth. So that's what we're facing. And that is my main report from New York.
I've just done a little bit of backstory research while you were telling us that. And last December, the mayor advertised for a rat czar in New York.
I wish we'd seen that. That would have been a great one to apply for.
I don't know how we missed this. Listen to this. The job listing is incredible. It says, the listing describes the position as a 24/7 job requiring stamina and stagecraft.
Stagecraft.
There's more. It says the ideal candidate will be highly motivated and somewhat bloodthirsty.
The fucking mayor put this out.
Yes. He says he will be determined to look at all solutions from various angles, including improving operational efficiency, data collection, technology innovation, trash management, and wholesale slaughter.
This is the best job ad ever.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
There's another bit as well. Where is it at the top? Yeah. You will need excellent communication skills and a general aura of badassery. It's amazing. Do you have what it takes to do the impossible? A virulent vehemence for vermin. Most importantly, the drive, determination, and killer instinct needed to fight the real enemy, New York's relentless rat population. That's so good.
This is why America, although it's exhausting, and I don't think New York is... ultimately, like, my brother-in-law said, could you see yourselves living here? And, like, Len had already made his mind up that he was definitely going to, like, live there, right?
Yes.
Because obviously when you're an 11-year-old boy, you're like, I mean, this is like, there's fucking there's pizzas everywhere. Everything's a fucking brilliant laugh. But to a man of my age, I'm sort of like, maybe once upon a time, but this city, as fun as it is not fucking conducive to the Just Rest lifestyle.
No.
It's pretty much the worst place for the Just Rest lifestyle.
Good to dip in there now and again, but...
Yeah. I mean, my sister's leaving. Like, she's going to live in Los Angeles because she's got 2 kids now. And she's like, this city is fucking great. You know, she moved there 10 years ago. She's like, it's great in your 20s. She went, but it's fucking relentless madness. And, like, raising kids there is, like, tough, you know. So they're going to LA where there's...
It's similar to London. A lot of people who gravitate to London for work. Not like yourself who've grown up there, but people who've gone there after uni. And then they meet people and get together and get married and have kids, and then they look at moving away because it's just...
it's too much.
It's insane.
I mean, I've got to say, coming back to Leafy Barnes, fuck me. I mean, I've been, as you know, for years, I've been like, I'm getting towards the stage where even I, who's always lived in London my whole life, I'm like, it's getting a bit much. I'd like to live in the countryside, bit of space, slower pace, less expensive. But you come back from a week in New York, and it's not, and you're like, fucking hell, I felt like I was coming back to some sort of sleepy Miss Marple fucking Hamlet. Do you know what I mean? Suddenly it's like, you do feel like you've already kind of retired to rural idyll just by being here. But anyway, Yeah, I mean, one of the many, many brilliant things about New York that would make it brilliant, and I sort of semi-wished that I had gone there in my 20s for a few years, is that, like what you just read out, that is like everything is a right laugh. Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? Like, even a job description issued by the fucking mayor.
For a rat catcher.
For a rat cat, like everything is just brilliant, like really funny all the time. So you become almost immune. Like for the first 24 hours, my son's spotting every fucking sign outside every shop and pissing himself laughing. But by the second day, you're almost like, yeah, of course, everything's hilarious at all times, and not by mistake. Like it's all meant to be funny because. I don't know. I suppose the attitude is just like, hey, we're only here once. We're here for a good time, not a long time.
We got to live out loud.
Yeah. Everyone's living out loud the whole time.
Good.
So that's just
it increases me desperation to get over there and have a pipe about, which I will do at some point in life. Yeah. Predictions, very quickly. We did some last weekend before you went away, and I forgot to even bother
publishing them,
checking up on them, so we'll check up on 2 weeks worth of. I didn't publish them, didn't check up on them.
Okay,
we did them and that was it. So we'll do some more now. Fulham versus Manchester United. Manchester United, who seem to be in fucking free fall.
Yeah, that's got to be 2-0 Fulham. I'm not even trying to be funny. That's just that feels just nailed on, doesn't it?
You know, I'm going to match that. I'll go 2-0 Fulham as well. Yeah, why not? Burnley versus Crystal Palace. I'll go first on this. Burnley seem to be quite hapless, but Palace are a bit shit as well. I'll go 1-1.
And I say 1-0 Burnley.
Okay. Brentford versus West Ham United.
Oh, fuck me. 1-0. Being very generous to West Ham there.
Yeah. I think he'll win that 1-0. Swansea versus Sunderland. I will say this will be a 2-1 win for Sunderland.
And I say 2-0.
All right, and then Newcastle United versus Arsenal.
I think that Newcastle United are going to win this 3-1.
Fucking hell. I'll go for 1-0 to Arsenal. That is the predictions. That's the episode. Thank you very much for listening, and goodbye.
Goodbye.